Hello, and welcome to another segment of the Video Resource Library brought to you by Advanced Trustee Strategies. My name is Sandeep Varma, and I'm a wealth strategist. And in this segment today, we will be discussing what is a variable annuity. Not only what is a variable annuity, but how do they work, who created it, how old is it, who regulates them, how does the annuity company make money in this market, and what's the future of the variable annuity. I will be interviewing Eric Henderson. He is responsible for the variable annuities that Nationwide currently offers in the manufacturing, distribution, as well as creation of new features of the variable annuity. So let's get started.
So it's great to be out here in San Diego, and I often speak with advisors about variable annuities and living benefits. But I thought it'd be good to come out here, Sandeep, in terms of, I appreciate you inviting me out to talk to consumers, because a lot of consumers have questions about how do these things work, how do insurance companies back these guarantees, how can I feel comfortable that what's kind of going on behind the scenes. So hopefully what I can do here is kind of talk about how they work, how insurance companies hedge them, and really kind of take away some of the mystery that's involved with variable annuities.
Eric, how old is the variable annuity, and how old is the whole concept of annuities?
Annuities have been around for a long time. Probably the first one was back 1,000 or more years, probably in Rome. Variable annuities started in, I think it was 1952, and they're really designed for teachers as who it was started for. And an annuity in general is a scheduled series of payments, could be for a period of time or for life. Variable annuities have a lot of different features. They have some guarantee features associated with them. Those features come with a cost that pays for that guarantee, and of course they're always subject to the insurance company that stands behind them. They're long-term investments that people looking for retirement income is the primary purpose for variable annuities.
How old is the concept of this thing called the living benefit, and why was this rider created in the variable annuity?
The main purpose of annuities in general is provide a lifelong stream of income. And variable annuities really helped you participate in the markets and be able to have that stream of income as well. What the living benefit did is it allowed you, there's a couple things that happened. So first of all, used to have a lot of defined benefit pension plans people had. Now more and more they have 401k plans. So before you had a guaranteed stream of income that you could get from your employer, most people today don't have that. They have an account balance which may go up or down. You have Social Security, which is a guaranteed stream of income. What annuities can provide is another stream of guaranteed income, and the living benefits allow you to participate in the market while still having that guaranteed stream of income. So the easiest way I like to think of a living benefit at a very general level is you participate in the market and you're guaranteed a certain amount of income no matter how the markets perform or how your account performs, and no matter how long you live.
How does the insurance company or the annuity company make money in a down market like this? How do they protect themselves?
Well, it's very complicated behind the scenes, and there's a lot of technical experts that hedge these guarantees that we offer. And so if you think about it, it's really just another form of insurance. And so an insurance situation is one where you hope it never pays off, right? If you have homeowners insurance, you hope your house never burns down. You hope you're paying for something you don't need. The same's true with these living benefits. You hope the market performs well and you never have to take advantage of this. But it's there just in case the market doesn't perform well and you really need it. The insurance companies go out and they work with Wall Street firms and the other exchanges to buy hedges on these benefits. And so they're basically saying, what's going to happen or what could happen with these benefits, and how do I make sure I've got enough money set aside, enough hedges that are going to mimic what I'm offering to the customer so I can stay in good shape.
One of the most common questions that I get asked all the time is, this variable annuity sounds just way too good to be true. What's the catch? How does this work?
Well, the funny thing, so when people say it sounds too good to be true, it probably wasn't, maybe before the 2000 market crisis, you were hearing the opposite. You're paying for this stuff that you'll never get. I mean, back when in the 90s when the markets were doing so well, people thought, well, why are you paying for this? The market will never go down so much that you would need it. Then 2001 happened, you had 2008, you have what's going on right now in the markets, and people are really seeing the value, and so now you're getting that, well how can you do this? And so in Again, it's a form of insurance. So in most situations, you're not going to need that insurance. So if the market goes up, like it's historically done over time, these benefits don't come into play. But if the market goes down, like it has recently, then they do. So again, it's really important that you understand the risks that are inherent in the product. And so we have a team of actuaries and hedge team that really look at this stuff and understand what's this product going to do, how's it going to perform under all sorts of different possibilities, and then how can we go out and how can we hedge that risk by buying some things that offset that risk and making sure that the promises we're making to clients is only good as us standing behind those promises and being able to pay it. So we look very seriously, how can we make sure we are investing and buying the hedges that make this work. Variable annuities can be complex, and so we need to make sure that they're being explained appropriately, and there needs to be the documentation so clients can understand what they're getting into and make sure there's nothing misleading about that. So when you have complicated products, the regulators are trying to make sure, hey, things are disclosed appropriately and that the clients understand what they're buying.
People also ask me all the time is, why would I put a variable annuity inside of a retirement plan? I already have a tax deferred. Why would I pay for that?
Yeah, I get that question a lot as well because the annuity, which has tax deferral for non-qualified money, doesn't offer any additional tax benefit relative to having it in an IRA. So why would I want to buy an annuity which typically is going to have more costs than something else and put it inside an IRA? And the reason where a client might want to do that is because of the benefits that the annuity can provide. We've talked about the living benefits and how those worked, and also from a death benefit standpoint. Some companies have a situation where their contract is structured such that if the owner of that contract dies, they're going to get at least that contract, or at least their initial deposit back, if not a little bit more, in the case that the market's down. Other companies are structured in such a way that can either actually be whether the owner dies or their spouse dies. On either death, they're going to at least get that deposit back, if not some more. So it's important to kind of understand how death benefits work in the different contracts because different companies treat it a little bit differently.
Can you elaborate a little bit about compliance? What kind of compliance? Who regulates a variable annuity? How safe is it? How secure is the company itself?
There's a fair amount of regulation for variable annuities. So you have the states, each of the individual states has regulation. You have the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, regulates it, and FINRA regulates it as well. So there's 3 different layers of regulation that have different purposes in there. So there's a lot of different organizations looking at annuities and making sure that we're doing things appropriately.
Eric, what do you see the future of the variable annuity? I mean, we've just gone through a tremendous turmoil in this marketplace. What do you see the future of this?
There's 2 things I would say there. On the one hand, the future is really bright because you look at more and more people, kind of the baby boom wave, going into retirement. I think because of the turmoil we've had in the market over recent years, people appreciate the value of these products more. So I think the future is really bright from that standpoint. On the other hand, where we are currently is with interest rates as low as they are and with volatility in the market as high as it is, that makes it tougher to offer the guarantees in terms of how we've been offering them in the past. So if you look back prior to 2008, these living benefits were actually richer than they are today because prior to 2008, interest rates were higher, volatility was lower, which made the cost of the hedges lower. In 2008 and 2009, insurance companies had to pull back a little bit because the cost of the hedges went up. Now what we've seen here in the last few weeks or so with the Fed saying that they're going to keep rates low for the next 2 years or so, and rates, Treasury rates are down at very, very low levels right now. Volatility is very high. The extent that interest rates are low and volatility is high, that makes the hedge costs higher. So if that continues, I would expect the industry has to pull back a little bit on the features of the benefits and make them even less rich than they are today. Hopefully things turn around at some point and you get interest rates going back up again. And you see typically it's really the cost of raw materials, I think. When those costs go up, you have to pull back on what you can offer. When those costs go down, you can offer something that's a little bit better.